I think there's gonna be one more thing that I'm gonna have to get here, though. We're not quite out of the woodwork yet. Getting this heal is definitely something I want to do, though. Usually I'm in far worse shape when it comes to health after the Electric Beetle X boss. And yeah, I believe that is just a normal beetle that was possessed by the X. An exceptionally strong X, as Adam so succulently put it. Yeah, with these missile things, this is actually really cool. It has a much more practical combat application in this game than in what other game it was introduced in. Again, I remember it was definitely in Prime 2 Echoes, right? I'm not going crazy for thinking that, I believe. But it's just a lot cooler here in a 2D game because you can find a much better kind of combat application for it, I believe. Okay, so, where are we gonna go from here, actually? I think there's one more thing that I need to get here. What is gonna be the best way to get to that? Yeah, it's gonna be that guy right there. And yeah, I have to go through an Emmy room to get to it. Oh man, I already did this! It'll be fine though. This one's easy because we're just going up the whole time. No shenanigans. Out of it as soon as I got into it. Fantastic. Okay, don't really need anything else. Should be fine. I don't really like how much time it takes to really kind of save up getting all 5 hits in with one of those missiles, but I guess there's really nothing that can be done about it. Oh, and here we go. I don't like this part either. Coming off of my least favorite boss, probably my least favorite mini-boss, because as if one mechanical Trozo soldier wasn't enough, how about we just have 2 now that do, like, massive amounts of damage? Because screw you. That's why. Okay, so the secret, and this is not a good start because they're already, like, all on top of me, but, so the key is definitely going to be this top one right here, and if we can get, like, some kind of, like, multi-missile lock on it, and then maybe get a counter in. But this one might take me a couple of tries as well. Yeah, I could have countered right there, but man, the knockback is so high. I don't know why the knockback is so crazy for the mechanical Chozo soldiers. But it's just going to pretty much be a game of try to stay up here, pump full of missiles. If I don't get pincer attacked, like try to get in a counter. But it may not even be possible, so we'll see. I have to have pretty quick fingers for this again. But I think 2 at once is just too much, guys. Like, I mean, we've already fought these guys twice before, like, it's not really changing up a ton. Like, just not a huge fan. Okay, could you stop doing the uncounterable ones, please? Okay, yeah, it looks like this is gonna be a loss right here. I think I've only taken, like, 1 actual non-Emmy loss so far, though, so that's pretty good. I'll chalk that up as a win, I think. Okay, can't counter that one because it's a red. Oh, yeah, we're dead. We're dead, man. Didn't even get close. What a shame. But yeah, I don't like it. Not a great stretch of the game right here, if you ask me. Alright, that is one of them destroyed, so let's see if I can actually avoid just completely screwing myself over right here. But the room is so big that, once you get one down, it really should not be that big of a deal. I'm just used to this orange one definitely, doing the uncounterable dash attack. There we go, number 2. Did that on the second encounter right there, so it definitely was not too bad. But this is definitely where I can bring up a concern that I have with the Metroid series going forward. I'm already seeing memes that, like, oh, whenever I play a Metroid game, like, this is me, and it's just Samus, you know, dying and exploding out of her suit over and over and over. And, you know, it's just a meme, it's like a joke, so who really, like, freaking cares? But it kind of speaks to what I believe, like, might be a problem later on. And what I think may have potentially already been a problem with Dread, just, like, no one really, maybe realized, is that I don't really know how I feel about Metroid becoming a series that is well known just for its difficulty. And that's kind of concerning for me. Because up until Samus Returns, I wouldn't say that Metroid was really a series that was known for its difficulty. As we get the space jump, yay. So, the halfway space jump is now obsolete. Fantastic. But then Samus Returns comes around, and I wouldn't even really say then that Samus Returns was a game that was kind of defined by its difficulty, necessarily. I think it got that from Diggernaut, because, yeah, Diggernaut was, like, disproportionately hard compared to the rest of the game, which is really, really strange. And I'd say Ridley was kind of the same too. It was really weird because Diggernaut was like this multifaceted, multi-stage, very difficult boss fight that was unlike anything that you really encounter in the game up to that point. Which was already kind of bizarre, for sure. But then after that you have the Metroid Queen, of course. And the Metroid Queen is fairly easy, really, because it's kind of based on what the original fight was from Metroid 2. So that wasn't too bad. But then you had Ridley, which was another multifaceted, multi-stage, really difficult boss fight. And I guess maybe that made Samus Returns become more well-known for its difficulty, I guess? Because that translates over into Dread in a way that I'm not sure is fantastic. And what do I mean by that? Okay, so when Dread was released, there was no rookie hunter mode or whatever you want to call it. So I'm concerned that Dread sold very well, but how many of those were people that maybe just knew Samus as, oh, you know, like the girl from Smash Bros. Represents like the weird Metroid series that I've never played before. I wonder how many of like thousands of Switch owners kind of had that mindset, bought Dread, and it was just too hard because it didn't really accommodate first-time players or people that were brand new to the series. I'm kind of worried that that number might be higher than people may think, and I'm worried that means that those people aren't going to try another Metroid game after Dread because Dread was too hard for them. I guess what I'm saying is I'm worried about the accessibility of the series going forward. And I think it being known as like a difficulty series kind of plays into that. Because I am not a fan of game series that are just kind of difficult for difficulty's sake. I know some people are super into that, and you know that's fine, like I'm not going to tell you what to like or things like that. But what I do know is that, you know, when kind of the health of the series is of paramount importance to me, personally, I'm just kind of scared that a lot of people bought into the Dread hype and the Dread marketing. And look, I'm not saying the Dread is a bad game, I'm just worried that it wasn't accessible enough, so we're not really going to have like a huge amount of repeat buyers when it comes to like series in the future. When it comes to games in the future, if like the big takeaway from Metroid Dread is that Metroid is this super difficult series that I die at constantly, and if you buy it, like, you have to get ready because it's gonna beat you down into the dirt into like submission and things like that, and just I don't think that really bodes too well for like the health of a series necessarily. So like the difficulty for me, at least in normal mode, really was never too much of an issue. Like it took some bosses were, you know, pretty challenging and took a few tries for sure, but it wasn't anything to where I got frustrated to where it was like, oh, I have to quit this and like I just don't want to deal with this anymore. Veteran mode was kind of a different story in some parts. Like some of the bosses, boy, they took a lot of practicing, especially since when I was doing the speedrun route, I could only get like minimal energy tanks and missile tanks and things like that. God, let alone Dread mode, boy. I think that's just for the sadists who really are just like, I just want to throw hours of my life at an overly difficult game. But I didn't really have an issue with it per se, but I'm just kind of worried that enough people won't be repeat buyers because it was kind of an issue. And I don't really want Metroid to kind of be known as like the super quick fingers, like Mega Man X type boss thing, you know? Like, okay, maybe that's what the series has to do to survive these days, you know? Maybe I'm just kind of being naive and that's the way things are now. Like, you have to change with the times, you know? Like, it's like Final Fantasy couldn't be turn-based RPGs forever. Like, it wouldn't survive if that had happened. Like, it was always going to take a turn for the more action-y side just so we could keep sales up and keep its relevance up. And maybe Metroid does kind of have to become, like, the very difficult, very quick fingers, boss-oriented series in order to, like, just kind of survive. And if that's what it takes, hey, I'm not really going to object to it. But I'm just kind of worried that maybe the opposite is going to be the truth, and maybe it'll just have a more negative impact on the health of the series going forward. But, you know, that's just me maybe just being a little paranoid and a little overtly worried. Like, it might end up not being an issue at all, to be honest. So, hey, it is what it is. I'm just glad that, you know, Metroid was just kind of back in its entirety here, 2D-wise and 3D-wise. I think a lot of those worries are going to hinge on what does Prime 4 end up looking like, and how is it actually received, you know? Because I was of the opinion, man, because, you know, I was doing my pessimistic self back in, God, it was not too long ago that I was kind of going on about this, really, that I did not think, like, a 2D Metroid game, oh, did this thing really respawn? I mean, dude, come on, pick up the X. There we go. I was of the opinion that, like, a 3D Metroid could never get made again because it would just never sell, you know? So, I am happy to have been proven wrong. I am actually very relieved that Dread is the highest selling game in the series. Maybe just due to really good marketing and really good trailers and things like that. But I don't know, like, I think Prime 4 is really going to determine, like, how the entirety of the series is kind of judged going forward, I suppose. Because I think I know how the 2D series is going to be approached going forward, for sure. But whether or not Metroid is going to be defined by its difficulty, I think Prime 4 is going to have a lot to say about that, but... Okay, here we go. This is going to be an easy take. Oh, and I know I was blabbering on... Oh, and I missed one right there. I know I was kind of blabbering on there for a little bit, so I kind of glanced over what the space jump actually does for us in this game. Wow, I'm just using up a ton of missiles right here. Okay, can we please get this right? There we go. Thank you. Now that I only have 18 missiles. Great. But yeah, so the space jump, it actually allows us to jump continually underwater as well. But we cannot ascend underwater until we actually have the gravity suit, so that's kind of a little, kind of caveat emptor. A little asterisk next to the space jump description there. But it was at this point, and I remember this very clearly, I'm like, okay, we're in Berneria. Like, this is the quote-unquote water level, right? Where is the gravity suit? Like, give me the freaking gravity suit, and I love this enemy so much. You know, like a squid, like a deep water type of enemy. Oh, I just love the aesthetic of this area. But right here, I was already kind of burned from the underwater enemy segments. I was like, just give me the freaking gravity suit so I stand a chance, man. Like, I feel naked and afraid right here. I feel like there's really nothing I can do. But then we get to Berenia, and I'm like, okay, so this is where the gravity suit has to be. Like, gravity suit has to be somewhere around here. Wait, isn't there something I can blow up around here? Oh, I guess it's right up here? Oh, I have to blow this up. There we go. Oh yeah, I almost forgot that was a power-up to be able to just, like, slightly shoot between walls. Yeah, you don't really use it a ton. Directly after the crate stuff you do, but after that, yeah, not so much, I suppose. But here, I was just, and then you're just kind of, like, clogging through Berenia. You're just like, oh, everything is so slow, and everything is so miserable. The grapple beam really didn't help all that much. And yeah, the space jump definitely did a little bit, for sure. Because we don't have to worry about just sinking to the bottom no matter what now. But after this, especially after the Emmy, I was just like, give me the freaking gravity suit. Where is it, man? And even then, they kind of make you work for it a little bit. So yeah, dude needs some missiles. Because I wasted it all on that gate. There we go. Although I don't think we have, like, any, like, missile chomping bosses really coming up. Unless this X just wants to spawn right in front of me. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. Boy, what is the point of energy tanks if, like, just one hit takes out an entire energy tank, right? Ironically, that's a point I made with Diggernaut because it was such a power increase over what we'd seen up to that point. Yeah, I do need to space jump over there, but yeah, I know those guys are gonna spawn and ruin my day if I let them. Directly over here because I saw that missile door. I know what it has to be. I want to get there ASAP. I don't think I can do anything about that just yet. Yeah, we're gonna need a certain other beam before we can get to that. And I know what I have to kill in order to get that. Cough, cough, the purple Emmy. Ugh. But okay, this is going to be where I have to be a little bit patient. Because we're going to blow that up. It's going to reveal another one. Blow that up. Going to reveal another one. Because for me, I just wanted to, like, just go ahead and, like, jump through the gap because I'm impatient. But as soon as we get that... yeah, that should open it up. I love that. Kind of, like, dynamic changing of the area. Because that crashes into everything, so everything's a little bit lower now. But more importantly, it broke open that bridge there. Another callback to Meridia and Super Metroid, maybe. Oh, but finally, after waiting for so damn long, we got it. The Gravity Dread Suit. So water is no longer an issue for us, we got some extra defense as well, and now our moving melee attack is also the most powerful it can possibly be, so that's going to be really great. As for the design itself, well, I mean, the gravity suit is always... God, this feels so good. Oh, this feels incredible. Oh my god. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, I'm gonna cry. It's beautiful. Okay, but more on that in a sec. What do I think of the gravity suit? It's always been ugly, though. It's what I was getting at. ever since the beginning.
Uploading data.
The X have spread across the entire planet. Assume all living organisms have by now been replaced by X. There is another problem you may have noticed. The temperature of ZDR has started to fall. I cannot say for certain if the X are to blame, but the drop in temperature is indisputable. The gravity suit should keep you insulated from the effect of low temperatures. Even so, beware the unexpected and proceed with caution.
The temperature is dropping. Huh. I could have gotten the gravity suit at a more appropriate time, huh? And as far as gravity suits are concerned, yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, it's not particularly ugly like I would say the Prime 1 gravity suit looks like, but hey, it had to come back, right? That's the reason why I didn't really mind the gravity function in other M's so much, because the gravity suits, it tends to be ugly as sin, but... ah well, series staple. Not much you can do about it. Back in Artaria, huh? Oh, definitely looking a little bit frostier than I remember. Yeah, this place has definitely gotten a whole lot colder. So we're back in the beginning world right now, the beginning land, whatever you want to call it exactly. Gonna go ahead and grab this missile, you're not gonna trick me this time. Moving floor. That puts us at 65? It's okay, I guess, huh? Kind of expected to have more at this point, to be brutally honest, guys, but hey, I'll make it work, I'll make it work. I did a veteran playthrough with, like, minimal missiles, so I can take it. It might take a few tries here and there for some of these guys, but, you know, it's not the worst thing ever. Ooh, an item. But yeah, we could not have gotten here before, I think, because this section particularly, a lot of this was already kind of sealed off by one cold room. But as you can see, like, a lot of that water is actually now kind of frozen over, so... Oh, crap. This guy? You serious? Okay. And this is my least favorite Chozo soldier in the entire game. Because he has the giant shield, which means you can't really rip into him with missiles so much. And I cannot get the counter to work on this guy for some reason. I'll show you guys what I mean if I get, like, the opportunity to try to get a counter in. See, I counter when you normally would for every other enemy in the game, and it just doesn't work. Like, I don't know what the problem is. So what I end up doing is not taking advantage of the counter. And if you don't take advantage of the counter, because this guy has a shield, it's gonna take for freaking forever. And yes, this is not the only time we have to fight this guy. Unfortunately, really freaking sucks. I mean, I guess it's okay that it's a different variant than the other Chozo enemy. Oh, I got it this time. Oh, I think you have to do a dashing. Oh, I never even considered that. I just accidentally figured that out. Oh, okay. Guys, I've played this game so many times that I never figured that out. Okay, hold up. Oh god, I'm gonna die now. Okay, I'm kinda shocked. Can you stop? He normally doesn't do it that many times. What the hell? Okay, let's see if I can do a little better this time, because I actually, okay, I'm not as, like, in shock anymore. In fact, I should be charging up my missiles and trying to get, like, the multi-hits on them. But yeah, you only have to do, like, one counter in order to take out the shield for good. I don't know why I never thought of that, like, actually, just go at it with, like, a charge melee shot before. I just completely figured that out on accident here, that's hilarious. Well, I'm glad I figured that out whenever I was actually recording for the camera. A nice little change of pace from what usually happens whenever I play things for the camera. And the way that I just get progressively worse. Hey, you can see how much damage this guy is doing now, it's ridiculous. Okay, we have to have gotten, like, a fair amount of hits on him now. But still, we have to do the melee counters to take him down, too. I don't know, that kind of sucks, like, up to this point. I don't know, I think for the melee counters, like, you haven't had to dash the whole time, so why change right now, exactly? Yeah, that kind of sucks, that's unfortunate. I'm glad I figured it out, though. Yeah, that was completely on accident. I was about to say, like, that enemy makes me feel kind of stupid, because I guess I'm just never able to get my timing down too well for it. And I didn't know that's what happens when you beat that thing, either. I think I just want the missile that's up here, question mark? I think that's all I want. Yeah, just grab this and then I'll be on my way. Okay, I'll remember that. So you actually have to dash for some melee counters. Actually, I think I knew that because the final boss has that. Okay, that's coming back to me now, but I can't really think of any other examples with, like, regular enemies where you had to do that necessarily. Oh yeah, but this room right here, this is what I was talking about, where if you tried to come here in Artaria sooner, you could technically do it, because the first time I played this, I did actually get that energy part. But this room specifically is actually super cool, so if you come here, you'll actually get super damage. But all this stuff, yeah, this was not super cool whenever we were actually here in Artaria first. So things have definitely gotten a little colder. Okay, alright. There we go. Fool me twice. Okay, yeah, we'll continue to go this way as well. And I still can't get that missile because everything is frozen over. That missile has taunted me since the very freaking beginning of the game, and now I got that to show for it. Fantastic. Okay, I'm actually gonna go back and heal now because I'm down, like, almost my entire health now. Give it back! And I'd like to go until I find a save room, because I'm gonna take a break after this. I've been recording for like 2 freaking hours! Although it's kind of proper that I put myself through my proper paces for my final playthrough here. Yeah, we're all the way back here. Save room in just a little bit. Boy, it feels kind of weird to be back here at the very beginning of the game, huh? Especially when everything looks so different. Oh, but we'll go ahead and get a little Adam lecture in while we're at it.
Uploading data.
I have determined the reason for the planet's rapid cooling. Thermal energy is no longer being routed from Cataris. This area, Artaria, is located in the depths of the planet. Much of it will be frozen. Find a way to thaw any frozen doors and pools you encounter. The central control system you activated in Catarus is still operational. Some force must be physically blocking the routing of thermal energy. I suspect a powerful X is involved. You must annihilate it. Return here after solving the problem. The cooling has prevented you from exploring this area. There must be a vital ability hidden somewhere here.
A vital ability, huh? Well, I did see something akin to that earlier. But I guess Catarus is first, huh?